Hi, I'm Kelly Rowe, the Community Engagement Lead for Hope Mission Calgary. Welcome to the Hope Mission Hub and welcome to our webinar. We want to just take you in behind the scenes at Hope Mission, show you a little more about what we're doing. Today we're going to focus on our food services and all the different ways we're providing for the youth, children, and families in need here in the Forest Lawn area. So come on in, we'll take you behind the scenes at Hope Mission and show you around. Well, welcome to our Hope Mission Calgary webinar. Thank you for joining us. It's going to be a lot of information coming at you in the next few minutes, but first of all, we just want to say thank you for your continued support of Hope Mission. Thank you for joining us as we serve the community. You know, we're helping out youth, children, and families here in the east end of Calgary, particularly, you know, our home base here in Forest Lawn area. So truly, we are reaching the neediest families in our city. Now, you know, we're going to talk a lot about the food support services we're doing. You know, why are these so important? Well, basically, we're serving the poorest families in town. Now, during COVID, you know, even more light was shined on that level of poverty in this neighborhood. A lot of people experience a further job loss or a cut in hours and even reduced income during this time. So it's very important for us to keep supplying these families with the food support, clothing support, whatever needs they have. Of course, it's supporting the children and the youth as well, so they have a safe place to be. But the budgets have been tighter than ever. You know, people have expressed more need. We've had more families reach out to us in the last 2 years than we ever have. We've serviced more families, in fact, in the last 2 years than we ever have. So over 400 families received food hampers during the COVID season. You know, we're seeing more and more families on that edge of, you know, where their budget is, do we pay bills, do we feed our kids? So we're trying to make sure that they have those supplies and everything in place so they can continue to feed the kids and pay the bills. You know, one thing we noticed over this last fall and Christmas was there were a lot of families experiencing, you know, a place where they'd lost their home. You know, they'd lost their income and they'd become homeless. It's heartbreaking. You know, we deal with homelessness a lot in our ministry, but not so much in the families that we're helping. But there's situations, you know, where the bills can't get paid and they have lost their homes. So your support has really been helpful. It's been the kind of the backbone of what we do. Is without all the supplies and the support, we couldn't even begin to meet all the needs we face. One family in particular we helped over the Christmas season had lost their home. You know, both parents had lost their jobs. The family tried to stretch the dollars as best they could, and they ended up at the Inn from the Cold shelter, you know, and once they got housed and positioned out of that process took a few months. So now that they're housed and back in the, you know, in the place where they're in a home and having bills to pay and that, we met them right over the Christmas season, not only with food support, but also with toys for the family. They really were in a place where they didn't realize, you know, when Christmas hit, geez, what kind of Christmas are we even going to have? So not only was it the food support, they really appreciated the fact that they had some presents under the tree and they had some blessings from the community. And they really realized how important it is, you know, to have support like Hope Mission. So thank you for all you're doing. Thank you for all your support. As we head into the information session of this webinar, we just want to kind of set the tone. But just know that the families we are serving are the ones, you know, that are in most need in our community. And they're going through a lot of hard times lately. But you're there side by side with us to help them. So thank you. At Hope Mission here in the east end of Calgary, we're providing over 5,000 meals a month, whether that's through food hampers, frozen meals that we deliver, after school meals in person here at the Hub, or our school lunch program. So there's a number of ways we're meeting the needs in the community. Just wanted to hit on the school lunch programs first here. We serve 3 schools. These are 3 schools in our neighborhood that are serving the most needy children and youth in our community. 2 of these schools are First Nation schools, so a lot of the kids are coming in from reserve and living in the worst situations, really, honestly, in our area. It's only by the grace of God these doors have been open for us, so we're able to get these school lunches served in these schools. So we service Niitsitapi School, Batoya School, and Ian Baz Junior High in our area with school lunches. So what we do is prepare lunches once a week for those schools. So one day a week they're being provided school lunches. That totals to over 600 lunches. And it's also, like I mentioned, 3 of the needier schools in the area, and we serve the entire school lunch. So one thing you have to understand, in our neighborhood, the schools are serving lunch to the entire school population every day of the week. So the day Hope Mission brings in that lunch, we carry that burden for them. We try to provide a lunch that's above what is being provided, so when the Hope Mission crew shows up, those children and youth are really looking forward to the lunch we bring, because it is beyond what the school's providing every day. Another way we're meeting the needs of the children and the youth in our area are through our after-school programs. Now, with every after-school program, we also offer a meal. So we don't know which children or youth are coming in that have eaten in the day or have been provided for, which ones are hungry. When they come in, they're usually quite excited and happy to be at Hope Mission, so it's hard to see on the surface who really is in need for food support. So we just feed everyone that comes through the door. So every program we offer a meal time, a prayer time with the meal, so they do understand the importance, of the provision that Jesus is providing. And those meals add up as well. So over 250 meals are served here pretty much every week, during our after-school programs. That is a sit-down, face-to-face meal. That's really the way Hope Mission wants to do every meal. During COVID, we've adapted, but one thing that we do, and we do sit down with the people and break bread. We do pray with them and provide for them, and it's a full hot meal. So it's, again, a beautiful prepared meal right here in our kitchen, hot, ready to go, served. And if some of the children and youth have brothers or sisters or parents at home that, aren't eating that night, they're allowed to take some of that food home too. Well, one way Hope Mission really adapted during COVID was the actual food deliveries we do. We were always a face-to-face ministry. Come in and have a meal with us. We want to meet you, but come to our place. We'll sit you down, provide a nice hot meal, and do it in person. But during COVID, we realized that wasn't going to be the easiest way to feed the people or even possible. So what we did is we adapted, and we began to deliver food hampers and frozen meal deliveries. So this is what we're talking about today. Is our main food supply chain now is actually we're delivering food to the homes. So we send out our crew every Tuesday, once a week, with a different route to meet different families at their home and drop off either food hampers or frozen meals. So you're giving today, what we're asking is you can provide for one of those routes, one of those delivery routes, and provide all the meals on that for $270. Now, if you want, you can take on 2 routes even and provide $540. But what you'll be doing is helping provide those hampers and those frozen meals to the homes directly week by week here at Hope Mission. Let's talk a little bit about the food hampers. Now, when COVID hit, when we were shut down for a time and the schools were shut down, the need really was evident in the community. The school partners we have and beyond began to reach out to us knowing that we were a food supplier and said, there's a lot of families that are relying on the school meals. They're relying on us to deliver these, to bring these meals to them at the school. Now, in this time, we realized we need to deliver hampers to the home. So we put it out to the schools and said, hamper deliveries are a new thing we're doing. If you've got families in need, reach out to us. We quickly got a number of families referred to a number of schools here in the east end of Calgary and beyond. And like I mentioned before, we've serviced over 400 families with food hampers. And what we found is that it took just a real burden of stress off the family. That's why we're continuing the food hampers on, even though, the schools opened up, the COVID restrictions have lifted and all these things. There's still the best way we can serve these families we found is that are really in need is to bring the hamper of food right to their home and stock their cupboards and take that pressure off. Not only does it stretch their budget, but it also relieves the anxiety and the pressure, that they're feeling. So, we've had so many exciting encounters with families on doorsteps with food hampers. Parents just moved to tears, they didn't know where the next meal was going to come. They were going to have to make those tough decisions. What do I feed my children tonight? What do I pay my bills? And just to see the relief that hamper brought really changed the way we looked at, reaching out in this way. So just know the food hamper program is going to continue on. It's going to be a part of what we do. We're very appreciative. We've put the call out to donors. We've had donors respond, supplying non-perishable food items. We've had churches supply and do food drives for us. We've also had Safeway partner with us and help us with supplies for the food hampers as well. So we're grateful for all our partners, but today what we're asking is that you step up to the plate and just help us provide these meals that are being delivered. One other way Hope Mission likes to bless the families is with a frozen meal delivery. Now, we used to do all our meals face-to-face, so it was always special meals, and come and we'll serve your family a nice hot home-cooked meal here at the hub. A lot of the times we focused around the holiday seasons, that are special to Christians, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. We were able to share a gospel message with the families, talk about, Jesus' birth at Christmas, his resurrection at Easter, and how grateful and thankful we are, and how important Thanksgiving is in this. So part of that message is kind of lost, without these special meal deliveries. So we really put a plan together to prepare the meals here, package them frozen. The family just has to heat them up and serve them. We're also doing those outside the holidays as well, because the one thing we got from feedback from some of the parents was what a great relief, again, it was to have a home-cooked meal, yet we didn't have to cook it, and take the time, and to just sit down with the family, heat it up in the oven and just have it ready to go. It's another blessing that you guys are providing on those route and delivery routes, is that we're, delivering those meals as well as the food hampers. So thank you for the support there. One thing we really wanted to do also was provide, not only the food at the holiday season, but also provide the gospel. So we had one story of a family where we put the Bible in the food hampers. We outlined the story of Easter and the importance of Jesus, the price he paid for us. Encourage the families to take a look at those scriptures and read through them together. Well, one mother, single mom, 3 kids, one of the children was coming to the hub, and she wasn't too sure who Hope Mission was or what was going on here, but she was grateful that one child was coming. When she opened up that food hamper and found the Bible, she realized we were a Christian organization. Now, her story was that she didn't, she was raised as a Christian, but she had walked away from her faith and hadn't been sharing her faith with her own family. So not only was she happy at one moment that her son was in a Christian program, but then the conviction came that why aren't you, sharing the gospel with your children? She felt like God really spoke to her deeply about her own faith and where it had gone. Not only was she, encouraged and convicted, but she reached out to Hope Mission here. We were able to talk with her. She recommitted her life to the Lord with us. She committed to bringing, the scriptures and reading them with her family, especially the ones we outlined for Easter. But not only that, she wanted, to have an opportunity to teach her kids with the Bible studies and different things. So we helped her out with the resources for that. So not only, were we providing the food, but we're still providing the hope. We're still providing the good message of Jesus, right? We look forward to doing some of the meals in person in the future now that the restrictions have lifted, but we believe these frozen meals have helped as well, and we're going to continue on delivering them. And again, relieving the pressure in the home and the stress of just always having to have that food prepared, always having to, put something together, maybe not even having the supplies to put together a real good meal, and having that one nice hot meal, even once a week or month is really helpful. So yeah, we'll continue on with that, and thank you there again for your support. Without your support, our volunteer support, we wouldn't be able to prepare all these meals. And one thing Calgary has done, because of our kitchen and just the scope and size of our kitchen, we're preparing those frozen meals for all of our Alberta branches that are serving youth and families in Wetaskiwin and Drayton Valley, Camrose, Edmonton, Calgary, and Red Deer. So we're preparing over 500 frozen meals every month to be delivered all across the province here in Calgary. Again, that's just a picture of how we want Calgary to grow and be able to, support the whole chain of Hope Mission, and the future plans to expand in southern Alberta, we're going to be intricate in that as well. So it's a sign already that Calgary's, able to supply beyond even the boundaries of our city. Thank you for joining us for the Hope Mission Calgary webinar. Thank you for your continued support. This webinar goes out to our donors that are already really committed. You've gone the extra mile. You've seen the vision. Hopefully today you've learned a little bit more about what we do, and it's encouraging for you to know where your dollars are going. Our ask, for this season is to help us and support us on these meal deliveries and hamper deliveries. Every route we go out on, there's a number of families that we deliver to. Every route is about a $270 expense for all those meals. So today we're asking if you could support one of those routes with a $270 donation. If, God willing, and you've got the finances, if you could support 2 routes, that would be a $540 donation. But just know that the food is going to the most needy kids and families and youth in our city. The support that they receive, it's heartfelt. They really impacted when we show up at their doorstep with these meals and this provision. It's an encouragement to them to know that there's people in Calgary that care about their situation. And that's who you are. You're the caring people of our community that care for the poor. Jesus says the poor will always be with us. Hope Mission's been serving the poor for 90 plus years. We're going on to our 8th year here in Calgary in particular, and we've grown. And it's because of your generosity. You're catching the vision, your understanding of the plight of the neighborhoods, that are living, these families that are living in certain neighborhoods in our city that are growing up in poverty. These kids are experiencing it. But you're relieving that anxiety, that pressure in such a time as this, probably one of the most, challenging times of our history. For these families, probably the most challenging season of their lives. And every day they can, know that Hope Mission's behind them, know that we have a community of people behind us that are providing this. We get a lot of questions. How can you guys continue to do this? How are you able to get all this food out to people? And we always say we have an army of people that believe, and they believe in you, and they believe you're an important part of our community. So thank you for helping us do this work. We couldn't do it without you. We're very grateful. And God bless you, and thank you for taking the time to just learn a little bit more about Hope Mission.